silence. This week, the Firebird community lost a dear friend and longtime supporter of Kettering Schools, Mr. Jim Trent. Jim loved Firebird basketball and was a long-time season ticket holder in the front row. Tonight, we reserve his seat to honor him. We ask that you join us in recognizing a moment of silence in Jim's memory. Thank you. The visitation for Mr. Trent will be held this Sunday, January 12th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., followed by a memorial service scheduled to begin at 2 p.m. Visitation and memorial service will be held in Trent Arena. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the playing of our national anthem. Now let's get to know the starters, beginning with the visitors, the Panthers of Springboro High School. At guard, a 6'1" junior, number 0, Khalil Trent. At guard, a 5'9" senior, number 1, Willian Yates. At guard, a 6'4" senior, number 2, Noah Moser. At forward, a 6'4" sophomore, number 5, Sam Feldman. And at forward, a 6'5" senior, number 11, Landon Palmer. Springboro is coached by Kyle Euchre with assistant coach Troy Lewis. And now the starting lineup for your Fairmont Firebirds. At forward, 6'1" senior, number 0, Donde. Guard, a 5'10" sophomore, number 12, Anthony Johnson. At guard, a 6' sophomore, number 15, Keon Wright. At guard, a 6'2" senior, number 20, Caleb Hall. And at forward, a 6'3" senior, number 22, Chris Thompson. The Firebirds are coached by Kenny Moles with assistant coach Kyle Moles and Kenny Sullivan. Tonight's MVCC High School Basketball Game of the Week is being recorded by the Miami Valley Communications Council and media students from Fairmont and West Carrollton High Schools. It's being live streamed on Facebook tonight. Search MVCC Game of the Week.
Our varsity game of the week between the Springboro Panthers, who will be all in black, against the Fairmont Firebirds, all in white. Jared Bergstrom and Jeff Allen for you once again. As we get ready to, or as it is tipped off, Jeff, what can you expect out of, let's go with the Panthers first since they're the visiting team?
It's just going to be an enticing matchup. Jared, the Panthers are all about utilizing their size. They're bigger than most varsity lineups you're going to find in the entire G-Walk, but they're last in blocks. They're last in offensive rebounds. So right there, if they can utilize their size as they did right there, put their arms in the lanes, put a lot of pressure on Fairmont, then I think Springboro will easily win this game.
And for me, I'm going to focus. I mean, Fairmont, this is the 7th different starting lineup that they've put out there this season. And it's worked. I mean, they got a 4-6 record in what people have thought would have been an off year because of the coaching change and all that. But Kenny Moles has come in, stepped up, won some huge games that Fairmont has been in tightly contested with, but never been able to pull the trigger and knock down the win. So it's been an interesting year for the Firebirds, and it can only go up from here. So let's see how it pans out tonight.
Well, Kenny Moles' team is so interesting. It's filled with guys who are undersized and counted out by other programs, but he is utilizing the most out of their talent every single little bit. They're a very tough, scrappy team. They'll hang on till the end, but can they keep up with Springboro's size and athleticism? We will find out tonight. When I talk about that size, the forwards for Fairmont are 6'1" and 6'3". The forwards for Springboro are 6'5" and 6'5".
Definitely, Springboro will have the height advantage down low on this one. But I mean, we've talked about it every time Chris Thompson takes the court. He's the charge king.
Yeah, and it really is about athleticism and skill, and they seem to have more. And that was Sam Feldman on the shot there. He has not converted a three-pointer all season. He's 0 for 4 now, Jared, totally.
And 0 for 2 from today.
Yeah, he can't really, he's having trouble stretching the floor. Field goal percentage-wise, he's top 5 in all of G-Walk, but he just can't seem to get that edge.
Keon Wright down low to Donye Lewis, who was blocked, given back to him. Lewis looking for somebody to give the ball to, and finally gives it back to the point guard, Anthony Johnson.
And you see the length of Feldman and Palmer working down there, arms in the face. They're making it very tough for Fairmont. Willian Yates.
Let's see what Thompson does. Thompson takes a check, but they give the ball and get a basket. I believe that was by Landon Palmer.
That was gorgeous, Jared.
What a pass by Willian Yates over to Palmer. Kind of what happens reversed on the football field.
And Willian Yates is an enigma. He is so fast. He's an explosive ball handler, a great scorer, but his inefficiency really kills him.
Thompson gets the Firebirds on the board with a bucket down low.
Big Chris Thompson, the Mr. Fundamental of this team, Jared. He really does do it all.
And that's where Fairmont has to get it. They got to get down low. If they want to score down low into the paint, you got to get down low before Springboro's bigs can get set.
Yeah, and Bukes is going to be a big part. Most people look at his 6'1" frame and think that he's not going to do that much damage down low, Jared.
Palmer launches a three, no good, finds the front of the rim as Bukes comes up with the rebound.
But he is just a trunky guy. He is very explosive and athletic, and he uses that to his advantage.
Johnson's going to shoot a three on the other end, and it's no good. Feldman gets the rebound, and it's numbers 3 on 2.
Feldman, they're circling the perimeter. A three from Moser now.
His three was no good, but an offensive, no, Johnson comes away with the board. What? It up to Lewis.
Ability.
And Fairmont capitalizes on the fast break and takes the first lead of the game.
High-octane offense so far. This game is going to be exhilarating, Jared. It's just going to be back and forth, punch and counter punch.
You hear from the crowd inside Trent. I mean, the way that the crowd is overreacting, it's like they're trading buckets. It's an only 4-2 lead.
Yeah, this game's going to be exciting, though, Jared. It's going to be very scrappy between two teams in the middle of the pack.
Yates shoots a three, and it's no good. Offensive board opportunity, but it goes off of Feldman's hands out of bounds.
And we've seen this all year, Jared. And Willian Yates and their losses has been he has been so bad, but in their wins he has excelled. So I think really how this team does depends on how number 1 does. He's averaging 4.4 assists a game, which leads G-Walk, but he's also averaging 4.4 turnovers a game.
And that's not something you don't want to match for a match. Thompson gives it over to Bukes. Bukes trying to get it to Wright, and he does. Wright drives in, off the glass is good. What a fast break move, or a fast move there for Keon Wright to the basket.
And butter smooth off the glass while being contested. That kid has been a different animal. The leading scorer for Fairmont, averaging 5 assists a game as well.
Palmer fake the handoff. Trent's going to drive and kicks it. Yates, sorry.
Feldman. They're trying to get the three-pointer going.
Moser's going to shoot a three, and it's no good. Caleb Hall comes up strong with a rebound. Springboro is 0 for 6 from behind the arc as Thompson can't corral the ball that was out too far in front of him.
That's a big body, Jared. I was fearful for the cheerleaders there.
Yeah, I was making sure that they got out of the way.
Chris Thompson went sailing, but And you see earlier Panthers are already, what, 0 of 5 from 3?
0 for 6.
The Panthers have 207 attempts, which is first in GWalk, compared to second place, which is 170, Jared. This team lives and dies by the three-pointer.
And so far, their three-point is on life support, 0 for 6 to start the game. And Fairmont's defending the three well, not really had a wide-open look yet.
Yeah, forcing him to go to those contested looks, which they don't really like to do, Jared.
Yates guarded by Johnson.
Moser, that's going to be the guy for Springboro right there.
Step back shot is good. Moser gets on the board.
He is their go-to scorer. He is third in GWalk in scoring, Jared. 14 points a game, along with 4 rebounds and a steal. And very efficient this year as well.
Hall kicks it over to Johnson, gives it back to Hall. Hall's going to square up and shoot a 3, and it's nothing but net.
Caleb Hall. And just as with Yates, Jared, if this guy does good, the Fairmont Firebirds are winning. There's nothing else to it.
And Moser, and I think they're going to tag, I believe that's Hall with the foul.
Yeah, Caleb Hall, I think, really is the X factor for this game, Jared. He's been inefficient this year and averaging 2 turnovers to 0.9 assists, making a lot of mistakes. But if he gets in a rhythm, if he performs well, then they're winning. There's no doubt about that. Keon Wright bringing it down to the fast break now. Very tough game so far, as we expected. Johnson back there resetting the offense, scanning a little bit.
And Johnson throws it way out of bounds.
That's not very characteristic from Anthony Johnson.
Yates is going to bring the ball up the court rather slowly.
And you see Moser, he is going to be on that left wing.
Trent's 3 is way off target.
I think they're going to try to get it to Moser in that left corner every time, Jared. That's where he works well.
That seems like that's where he wants to shoot it. He's only taken 3 from there. Johnson loses it on the way up, but it's going to be off of Feldman, out of bounds, back to the Firebirds.
Good defensive awareness from Sam Feldman, but Anthony Johnson and Keon Wright's quickness has been too much for certain opponents this season.
Hall 3 off the inbound. It is good.
Oh my goodness, Jared.
Caleb Hall 6 points, and Euchre calls a timeout for the Panthers. Fairmont up 12-4 here.
And just the exquisite three-pointer from Caleb Hall. We saw on the camera, this kid's arm was on Hall's elbow as he put it up. Just what focus from Caleb. Caleb Hall this year, we talked about his mistakes, his assist-to-turnover ratio, and his shooting slashes of 38% from the field and 25% from the three-point line, Jared. But tonight, he's already 2 of 2 with amazing defense.
And that's something the Panthers have to work on. They're 0 for 7 to start this game from behind the arc, and that's definitely something that they have to try and work on. 0 for 7 to start the game, and a team that lives and dies by the 3, like you said, is not getting off the ground here early. Only 2 buckets, and they've been fast break buckets at that, so it's not even like they're getting set on the offensive end.
Fairmont is playing really smart so far, Jared. Not wasting a possession and not giving up any possessions.
And now look, out of the Springboro timeout, Fairmont's going to come up and play like a half court, full court. I don't know what you call it, a diamond press or whatever.
That's how they work, but it looked like they didn't get a lot of practice on it, Jared. They gave up a lot of lanes there. That's how Fairmont used to play a lot.
And Springboro got through it real quick. Out to Doucette. He's going to shoot the 3, and it is no good. But Trent's going to control the rebound.
Lewis almost had it, though. Great energy by number 0 so far. He is one of the hearts of this team. And Lewis, trying to redirect his defense, does not see a driving Sam Feldman. When Sam Feldman drove, his head was turned the other way. So got to have better awareness there from the senior.
Almost thrown away there by Johnson. And Fairmont looks like they're going to be content with controlling this for the last shot. as we approach 18 seconds. Lewis kicks out to right in the corner. He's wide open for three. No good.
What a pass by Danye Lewis.
As he was falling down.
Yates where he's comfortable in transition.
6 seconds left. Yates guarded by Doucette. 1 second left at the buzzer. No good, but I think he was fouled. He was. The refs say he was fouled, so he's going to go to the line to shoot two. And he has to shoot before we go to the next quarter.
That's something you don't see often. They usually don't let the band play during free throws either.
No, I mean, Springboro, the cheerleaders had flags out on the court, and Yates knocks down 2 clutch free throws with it being the loudest point in any point in the game.
Yeah, that was very, very good focus from Willian Yates.
But we were talking about it. Euchre called that timeout with 1:14. It was 12-4. It's 12-10 going into the second quarter. So Springboro got something going. 6 points in 1:10 on the clock.
Yeah, and a lot of it was just Fairmont finally making mistakes and Springboro capitalizing upon that. So far, pretty on par with the JV game, funny enough. So we'll see if this one's as good as that one. A great first quarter for Fairmont. Springboro kind of surviving their onslaught, capitalizing upon some opportunities there, but overall, Fairmont's looking very strong with their athleticism and three-point shooting at the beginning of this year. Making great decisions.
Here it is, 2020, and they're still playing Bad Romance. That song's probably at least a decade old.
As you pointed out, the band is rocking. The crowd is ready here at Trent Arena in Kettering, Ohio. Firebirds are up 12-10 as we take off on this second quarter. Starting lineup in with Desan Doucette for the Firebirds, and Springboro will keep the same exact 5 as they had through the entire first quarter. Not a very deep team if you look at the stat sheet for Borough, but they have those pieces available. They can go to them. They just don't. They choose not to. They'd like to go out there with that size consistently.
Springboro looking a little bit flat-footed here the way they come out. Not really getting anything moving towards the basket. Trent kicks it over to Feldman. He's going to drive baseline. Gets a shot up and he passed it out. Moser drills a three. No, that was not Moser. That was, that was.
A stunning pass.
And Springboro leads for the first time tonight.
Sam Feldman getting it off at the last moment he possibly could.
New quarter, new stats. Springboro's 1 for 1 from behind the arc.
13-12 now as the second quarter starts. Firebirds will try to come out with the same fire, and Willian Yates getting a little too physical on the on-ball defense.
And you would just think about it. If Springboro could have made half of the threes that they missed in the first, they'd be up double digits. Watch this pass. Feldman drives in, doesn't even look to Moser.
Gorgeous. And what a fantastic skill set for these 6'5 forwards, Noah Moser and Sam Feldman. Johnson.
Lewis hands it back off to Johnson. Yates way out of the picture. And Johnson gets it back. Off the glass is no good. And it's going to go off of Willian Yates. It's going to stay with the Firebirds.
Yeah, that was some great hustle there by Gavin Helyard. But how about the defensive awareness from Springboro? Landon Palmer getting his arms in there.
Helyard gets the inbounds pass. Helyard's going to drive baseline. Gives it off to Lewis. He gets it in the air and go to the bucket and the foul.
Danye Lewis. So composed in the paint. He watches the big man soar into the air, takes the contact, and great focus to finish it. Jared now in for the Firebirds. Number 25, a prospect, as Danye Lewis tries to convert this and one. Malachi Parker is a guy, when we talk to people, that they say he is the future of this team. He can be very electric at times. We'll see how he does tonight in an important game.
I've seen him in a couple games. Before we started, I ventured out to a couple of the games for everybody that we cover to see what the teams are going to look like. And Malachi started his last 2 games against Lebanon and Alter. Really a good on-ball handler. As Hilliard gets the bucket, give the assist to Parker.
Anthony Johnson, somebody pick him up because he's dropping dimes. Willian Yates coming down with the pressure by Johnson. And Anthony Johnson, what an excellent ball player.
Moser's corner for 3, no good.
Speaking of the excellent ball player, Anthony Johnson with another dime. Caleb Hall on the beautiful finish. Get out of the way, Jared, because the Firebirds are coming.
Right, Fairmont firing on all cylinders, up 6 now. Drive in, Moser off the glass. No, I think, are they going to call him for the travel?
Firebirds were on a 7-3 run, but I think Sam Feldman drew the foul.
Foul was on number 23, Hilliard. His first, team's 3rd.
But just as I was saying, Jared, Anthony Johnson responsible for making those last 2 plays. What an improvement. We saw him go from a role player last year, and now he has emerged as what can be called the star player for this team, really. He has taken over.
Yeah, him and Caleb Hall both kind of the 5th, 6th, 7th man on the bench last year as Springboro goes 0 for 2 from the line and really thrust into the starting lineup and role players here this season.
Lost a lot of good players the last 2 years, but the Firebirds are making up for it with effort and toughness.
What a pass there from Hall to Lewis, and now you're going to see Parker guarded by Yates. Down low to Hall. Hall off the glass. It's good.
The ball movement Springboro cannot keep up with. They are getting confused with all the interior movement. The Firebirds are doing a flawless job right now of confusing that long Springboro interior.
And really, it almost looks like Springboro's playing tired here. Fairmont is running them up and down the court. Moser's shot is good.
Noah Moser continues to rain down jump shots over tough defense. This kid is the real deal, Jared. 14 points a game, 4 rebounds.
Halfway there, and we're not even halfway through the second quarter. Johnson guarded by Trent. And you see Fairmont's kind of gone small here. Hilliard, the tallest one on the court at 6'3".
Malachi Parker having trouble handling Yates' defense.
Lewis spin move through the paint, and they call him for a travel.
True, he should have took it off with the first step after the spin move.
What a move to the paint, or to the basket.
Showing a lot of talent for a 6'1" center, Jared. He is their leading rebounder. Donye Lewis really stepping it up this year.
And you see Fairmont's going to come out and play a pressure defense up court, and Fairmont almost steals the turnover, and Feldman gets the bucket to drop. And really, that's how the Panthers have scored, is when Fairmont comes down and plays that full court trapping defense, they can break it. Wright's going to drive in, pulls up, gives it to Hilliard, and Hilliard was fouled on the way up.
Good defensive awareness, but still could not contain Fairmont. Their quickness is really the deciding factor of this game, Jared. Panthers have a lot of size, but they do not have a lot of depth, and they do not have a lot of quickness outside of that backcourt.
Feldman, the foul there. Hilliard's free throw is up and good. You're going to see Palmer come back into the game.
You'll see Matt Yim come into the game. He's averaging 5 points a game this year, doing pretty solid. You also see Braden Newsom, number 3 out there for Springboro. Finally seeing some fresh faces here in the second quarter as Fairmont slowly starts to take off. And Gavin Hilliard will hit both of those free throws there. Put the Firebirds up 6, 23-17, halfway through the second quarter. The Panthers circulating the perimeter, trying to go inside. Back out to Yim.
Yim's 3 is good.
Very skilled guard. Matt Yim has been a solid rotational player. He's the leading scorer off the bench.
Lewis over to Parker. Parker drives in from the baseline, and that's just sheer speed, the ability to cut through the lane like that.
The athleticism still shows through for the Fairmont constantly. And Springboro, their entire offense based off of in and out action, trying to get either the three-pointer or the easy layup.
And that's what all they've scored on tonight so far. Fast break layups and threes.
Yeah, and this kid right here, Noah Moser, getting another basket.
Moser.
He is just simply one of the most talented scorers, not only in the state, not only in the GWAC, but the state. Refuses to be stopped here tonight. As he cuts the lead to 3.
Wright pulls out, gives it to Parker. Lewis thought about just shooting it, gives it over to Wright, and he's going to drive in.
Lewis
move into the paint, and shot is no good. But Lewis rips down the board. Wright's going to shoot a 3, and that's no good.
Gavin Hilliard with another board.
And he's going to go back to the line for 2 more.
And Jared, you got to think, you're looking at the team that is last in offensive rebounds, and they are 9th in total rebounding. And I'm not talking about the Firebirds. That's crazy. They have this size, and I talked about that before this game, but they have trouble utilizing it. They're 9th in rebounds, and they're last in blocks. They just cannot keep up. And they'll take Moser out and Newsom, bring Feldman and Palmer back in.
Thompson checks back into the game, and Soder comes into the game, the JV player, as Hilliard goes. His last 4 points, or maybe his only his 4 points, have come from the free throw line.
Actually, no, he had that open layup.
That's right.
So that's 6 points for Hilliard, racking them up. He usually doesn't score a lot, Jared. Gavin Hilliard on the season, averaging 2.9 points a game.
Well, he's well above the season average tonight.
Yeah, definitely a
6
solid.
6 points already, and he's a huge key rotational player.
So far, the Firebirds as a collective unit playing so strong, just like their band. You see the Springboro huddle there, led by head coach Kyle Euchre.
Two and a half minutes left here until halftime. And the way Fairmont came out to start the second quarter, and they stretched it out to an 8 or 9 point lead, and now Springboro has it down to 5, and actually had it down to 2 at one point, or maybe 3.
It's been an action-packed game. Fairmont slightly edging Springboro. As we come to a close in this second quarter, Trent kicks it to Yim. A lot of perimeter rotation here. Down low to Palmer. It is
Taken away by
deflected.
Soder. Soder trying to dribble out something, has it almost poked away.
And Hilliard caused that play to happen on the other end, Jared. A poke out from behind Palmer was not expecting, and he has been making waves tonight.
Thompson, Keon right in the corner for 3, and it's good.
Gorgeous off-ball screen. Great pass by Thompson, but even better screen by Gavin Hilliard.
Right.
Still making stuff happen. He has been one of the X factors tonight.
Big man coming, and both of the big men for the Firebirds were involved in that play. The pass from Thompson and the Hilliard block or screen. Yates kicks it back out to Palmer. Palmer's shot's no good.
And tenacious defense by the Firebirds. They are sticking on them. And how about the newcomer, Malachi Parker? He was perimeter defense all day, embodying it. Keon right here, past the Parker.
Parker looked like he wanted 3. Hilliard, oh, I thought he was going to shoot the 3. The way he went up for that, I thought it was going to go.
The very convincing hesitation, no doubt.
Parker drive to the basket, and it's good. Getting over the outstretched arm of Feldman.
And how about that perfectly timed pump fake? This kid is a real prospect, Jared.
I told you before, we talked before the game, and I saw your eyes get wide when he drove through that paint.
He is a sophomore, number 25. Now Springboro has the ball. Feldman driving in, trying to kick out to Palmer. Palmer scanning, driving baseline, kick back out. Spin
move. Palmer for three. That's a high arcing three, but no good. But an offensive board with 25 seconds left. And I think Yates, I think Fairmont called a timeout. Or no.
It's going to be an arm check right there.
He's set by 22, so it has to be Thompson.
And Landon Palmer, he was the leader of this Springboro team that almost went to a state championship.
Here you go, Parker's drive to the paint. Just getting over Feldman. Just as I was talking about Landon Palmer, he was the leader of the Springboro football team for so long, 3 entire years. We finally get to see him playing some basketball. He has a basketball body, Jared. He has some skills, but I think sometimes they rely on him too much. He's averaging 5 and 5 on the season, but he's shooting 36%. You can't really count on someone like that consistently. But that is one thing I can say about Euchre. He trusts his players completely. That foul was on number 4 for the Firebirds, Doucette.
Yates, Palmer, circulating Trent.
Trent's three is no good. Soder's half-court heave. Oh,
my
Hilliard
goodness.
almost could have got that to go.
What an exciting first half, Jared.
Yeah, Fairmont leads 32-22 going into the half. We're going to try to get this off before the band gets any louder, but Springboro has a lot to work on coming into the second half, so we'll see if Springboro can make the adjustments at the half break. All right, here we go, getting ready to start this second half of our MVCC Varsity Game of the Week. Fairmont leads by 10, 32-22 over the visiting Panthers. Jeff, what does Springboro have to work on, or what should they have worked on at halftime?
Well, I definitely think they need to throw some more offensive looks at Fairmont. They seem very repetitive in their offensive motives. They want to get it to Moser in his spot, a lot of inside-out action. I think if they switch it up, through some different looks, some different plays perhaps, that will throw Fairmont off, I think they'll definitely have a way back in this game.
Here we go. Oh, go ahead.
Also, if they utilize their size a little better, Jared, they're really getting, I think they're getting beat on the rebound battle.
Fairmont gets the ball to start the game here. And we can tell you for at least the third quarter, you'll be able to hear us clearly with the band not being here. Fairmont trying to find something to break this somewhat of a zone, and Fairmont Springboro forces a turnover up court to Yates, and he goes through the contact, and it's going to be a foul. I believe that's going to be on Johnson.
Great steal there by Noah Moser, taking advantage of the lack of awareness from Chris Thompson. And Yates will throw. We get 2 free throws here now.
Yates going to the line.
He missed the first.
Second one is good.
So Willian Yates, someone who hasn't gotten going so far. He only has 3 points. A lot of missed shots. He really needs to start creating more isolation looks. I feel like that's where the big part of his game. Fairmont doing a great job this whole game of
Bukes
smart
is going to
passes.
drive in, kicks it out to right. He's going to kick it out to Bukes, and he hesitated and missed it.
Lewis Bukes off on the jumper.
Yates up court. Moser, corner. I thought he was going to take it. Yates going to drive in, kicks it across court to Feldman. And Palmer's going to drive into the paint, kicks it out to Yates.
Open three for Yates here.
It's no good. Right with the board for the Firebirds.
They have to get that going. Oh my goodness, Chris Thompson was not looking for the ball.
And Trent gets fouled, and he's going to go to the bucket go to the line for the and one.
So not only do they make the mistake trying to push the ball up on the fast break, they make another mistake by fouling Khalil Trent hard off of the contact, and he hits that shot.
Trent's free throw is up and good. And Springboro has shut out the Firebirds early in a 4-0 run here for the Panthers.
Anthony Johnson trying to create some space. He's been stellar tonight.
Bukes.
Lewis.
I guess we should determine which one we're going to call him. We just call him Danye. Just go for the first name. Kicks it out to Johnson. He's going to dribble right back out of the paint. Thought he had an easy layup if he wanted to take it. And he gets the move, and he gets the bucket.
Anthony Johnson sending the crowd into hysterics with a beautiful crossover, sent Yates flying over his teammate.
And that's his first bucket of the game.
And Springboro was getting back into it momentum-wise, but there you go.
And Caleb
it
Hall
changes
pokes
again.
A turnover.
Noah Moser coming.
And his layup is good. Hall has 12.
And what did I say at the beginning of this game, Jared? If Caleb Hall is on, there's no way the Firebirds are losing. That's the X factor.
And you said it the way for the Panthers with Yates. When he's off, the whole team is off. Palmer kicks it over to Moser.
Another steal.
And I think Moser's going to get tagged for the foul, too.
Exceptional
back-to-back
quickness.
steals.
Oh, my goodness. The intensity the Firebirds are playing with, it just cannot be matched. And there you see Johnson taking a baseline behind the back and sends Yates flying.
Right into Moser, and that kind of affected both of them.
So fantastic look. And here you go. Anthony Johnson here again.
Johnson gives it off to right over to Bukes.
Caleb Hall, the right
back door, and he takes a shot off the glass.
Another great shot for the Firebirds. They are just getting it rolling here in this third quarter.
Feldman down low, fouled a gap in the Firebirds defense.
Good fake dribble there. Yates with the pressure, trying to get the steal, cannot. Johnson coming down fast.
Johnson dribbles out of it, kicks it over to Wright. Wright's going to launch a three, and it's no good. Palmer with the rebound.
Good awareness there by Springboro, playing good defense after a quick shot from Wright. You see Feldman, the power dribble, letting Lewis fly and almost getting the contact too.
That foul was on Lewis. That's his second one.
There you go, Yates, who has not gotten it going yet.
Pulls up from the free throw line, no good. Johnson rips that board down.
And Yates forced another one.
Johnson drives in, stops into the lane, and gets the bucket to fall.
Gorgeous. Now the Firebirds, Jared, they're winning with their athleticism. Simple and plain. They're out-intensifying the Springboro Panthers. And you see the little hop step, taking advantage of the balance of the defender, going up with it. Anthony Johnson has been great tonight.
Cross court pass to Yates. He's going to shoot a three, and it's nothing but net.
And he felt that one. He stuck his leg out a little bit. Very confident with that one. Yates finally maybe starting to get it going here.
Cuts it down to a 9-point lead for the Firebirds.
Johnson at the top of the key. The Firebirds can control this game. They have momentum and the lead. If they play conservative, patient, and opportunistic like they have so far, they'll win this game, Jared.
Hall kicks it over to Johnson. Hilliard's going to drive baseline. Ball poked away.
Questionable pass.
But
Bukes
stayed
with the
with the Firebirds. 3 in the corner from Hall, and it's no good.
Good job by the Firebirds even creating the opportunity. But here's the hustle now by the Panthers behind the back pass.
Feldman's going to drive in on Hilliard. Can't get the bucket, or he will get the bucket. He will not be denied.
Great defense by Gavin Hilliard. But cannot get to Feldman. That was a really nice take, too. He uses his body to fend him off. Goes right up into his arms. Stellar layup by Feldman. Keon Wright passes it to Johnson, who mishandles it. Yates with the steal.
Numbers 3-on-1 for the Panthers, and he kicks it off to Trent.
Almost a turnover there, but still great awareness by Lil-Jan Yates. Palmer one-on-one in the post. Will try to use his size against Hilliard.
Turnaround's no good. Palmer follows the board, dishes it off to Feldman.
Ooh.
Denied by Bukes.
Sonye Lewis Bukes. Hello, world. Oh my goodness. And that is a young man who has been the defensive centerpiece. He's averaging 8 rebounds a game, 1.5 steals, and 2.5 blocks. Keon Wright picks it up for the steal after the mishandle.
And Wright will go to he gets the hoop and the harm.
The Firebirds are just soaking themselves in this energy. They are living their best lives tonight. They are playing their best basketball. Keon Wright trying to convert this and one to put them up by 10. This has been a bang-bang third quarter. Panthers already scoring 11, but the Firebirds scoring 10. Actually, they're scoring 11 right with them. Tying it up and keeping this lead going. Lil-Jan Yates has to step it up here.
And he gets the shot off and gets the bucket to fall. Yates has 8 in the quarter.
And there's the player they're used to right there. Malachi Parker, we'll see him back in this game now. A 25 on the wing. And a steal by Feldman. He reads it. He takes it slow and methodical.
Gives it off to Trent, and Trent gets the bucket. Fairmont has turned it over 4 times this quarter.
Good defense there by Chris Thompson, but could not get to it. Even better pass there by Sam Feldman. Keon Wright bringing it down now. This Fairmont offense, other than the turnovers, has been very methodical. I think the length gets to them off ball, though. I think that's why they make these turnovers.
Parker gives it over to Thompson. Thompson gives it off to Wright. Over Parker, going to drive. I thought he was going to pull up and shoot it. Soder drives in off the glass. It's good on a circus shot.
Soder making it happen for the Firebirds once again. They are making plays tonight, Jared.
And just like that, it's under a minute left in the quarter.
Lil-Jan Yates with the stop and go.
Moser
in the corner.
His 3 is good.
You got to get on him. Sophomore mistake by Malachi Parker. His first year on varsity. He does not get on one of the best scorers in the state.
That ball was tipped. It's going to stay with the Firebirds, though. 24.5 seconds left in the third. And Springboro has whittled this down to a 5-point game.
Yeah, surplus ball movement from the Panthers. Excellent comeback. Yates with the steal, 5th turnover of the quarter. Fairmont not being smart with the ball.
Trent dribbles in, drives out, kicks it to Yates.
And he's been the X factor this quarter, Jared. We were just talking about how the X factors have to perform. Caleb Hall giving the Firebirds what they need.
6 of his 8 points. Yates drives in, kicks it over. Palmer's 3 is no good. Air ball. Feldman saves it, but I think he was on the line when he touched it. 0.3 of a second left.
And not time to do much of anything.
It's not even a chance for a catch and shoot. You've got to kind of, if you want to do anything,
shoot it in the motion of passing almost.
And I thought Johnson was going to get it up. But
that'll end an exciting bang third quarter.
right, that third quarter we saw it was 13 to
a 31 points scored.
right.
Just in that quarter. What an excellent back and forth, Jared. I knew it would be tough, but I didn't think that they would be this skillful. Here you see the Springboro huddle. And Kyle Euchre trying to draw something up. And let's go over some replays. There you got a Landon Palmer air ball, but Sam Feldman trying.
I don't know. It looked like his foot was in.
I don't think it would have mattered. It was 0.3 seconds left.
And nobody was there for the ball. But here, look, I think this is Feldman down low earlier in the quarter. Got Bukes up in the air.
And the late quarter heroics from Willian Yates in total. If it wasn't a point scored by him, it was mostly facilitated by him, Jared.
Yeah, Yates touched the ball, I think, in every scoring possession there.
And their X Factor performing. Let's see if Fairmont's X Factor, Caleb Hall, can get them back in this one. They've all been playing so well tonight. And Jared, the fourth quarter is shaping up to be a G-Walk classic. The Panthers down by 5. They've been fighting all third quarter, and here we go. Yates gets the ball. Soder behind him. It can easily turn into a classic.
This could be a shootout. The last time we covered these two schools at Trent, it went into a double overtime finish about 4 years ago.
Noah Moser with another excellent basket. This has been his game so far, Jared.
Moser has 14 in the quarter, or 14 in the game.
Matching his average. Almost another steal by Springboro. Playing the lanes heavy here.
Soder gonna drive in and kick it back out to Johnson.
Johnson contemplating. They pass it around the perimeter a little more. Ryan Soder, he had that beautiful layup there in the third quarter. Very patient ball by the Firebirds.
Johnson gets it on the give and go from Bukes. Johnson's going to try and do something on the baseline, shoots it, and it's good.
Another basket by Anthony Johnson. Just call him showtime.
And Fairmont takes a full timeout.
An ISO bucket. Anthony Johnson is killing him.
Watch it, making moves on the baseline. And I thought he was just going to try and get up and get Yates in the air. No, he just shot it.
And Anthony Johnson, he's averaging 9 points on the season and 4 assists. But let's just talk about his presence, his ball handling, his quickness, the way he penetrates. Anthony Johnson is out there making a difference on every play. Here you see number 12 again with the patience. He's calling the play. He's almost trapped. Does the step back once again, and we saw him score on almost the exact same play early in the third quarter.
And if you want to talk about, I mean, if we go over to the Springboro huddle now and you look at them, what does Springboro have to do? I mean, they got it down to a 5-point game, but they just cannot capitalize.
Well, they're capitalizing upon every one of Fairmont's mistakes. I'm not sure what they can do other than just playing lockdown defense. They have to defend on this side of the ball. You know, I think they're doing a great job of getting their arms inside of the passing lanes and keeping pressure on Fairmont. But I think it just comes down to utilizing your offensive possessions.
Yeah, they're not stringing together back-to-back 3 possession in a row stops, which I think they will probably need to do to get back into this game.
Definitely. This game will require a major momentum change if it wants to have a different outcome. Sam Feldman on the wing scanning the defense now. And Springboro, interestingly enough, for most of the game has had the same lineup in.
Yeah. Not really went to the bench at all. Trent, cross court to Feldman, thought about the 3, drives baseline, off the glass, no good. Feldman with the board. Putback is good.
Sam Feldman, slow and methodical like he has been all season. He came into this game 4th in field goal percentage in all of G-Walk. And Johnson to Soder. Fairmont is playing very quick now, coming in and out of the lanes. Lewis, they're testing him to shoot. He has not shot a 3 this season. Lewis getting pressured, cannot handle the ball, and then he passes it away.
Stays with the Firebirds.
But you see there, Jared, that's exactly what Springboro needed to do, though. Play a lot of pressure.
Feldman's layup at the other end.
Only down 3. Springboro gets a steal on the fast break. Trent
pulls up, pops it, and it's a 1-point game, 47-46.
And they continue to remain in those lanes, Jared. Again, like I said, creating disruption with their hands, with their length. Anthony Johnson almost gets it stolen, and he does get it stolen.
Back-to-back turnovers. Yates drives in, off the glass, and no good. Bukes with the rebound. Numbers 3-on-2. Soder throws it away.
Fairmont is holding up the ball and saying, who wants it? This is some of the most sloppy offense I have ever seen in my life.
Fairmont, it was 3-on-1, and Soder tossed it into the crowd.
It was actually Lewis Bukes on the pass.
Right,
but
Soder wasn't looking for it.
Then before that, Johnson almost gets it stolen, panics, and then does get it stolen. Just a bunch of questionable decisions for Fairmont, and Springboro still cannot capitalize.
No, the three-point shooting is not there tonight. And Johnson, another turnover.
And just awful passes, Jared. That was unwarranted, unnecessary.
Feldman, Yates, over to Palmer.
Good defensive rotation right now.
Yates gets it back. Trent could have went through the lane if Yates would have passed it to him.
Springboro's doing a great job of staying in this game with their toughness and disruption. Khalil Trent with a contested 3.
No good. Johnson comes up with the board. I think for Springboro to try and it's only 1-point game, but Springboro has got to leave that 3 alone. They have not shot it well tonight.
And also, Anthony Johnson has to make better decisions with the ball.
That was a questionable pass there to right along the sideline.
He is thinking too quick. He has to slow it down.
Thompson, turnaround jumper is no good. And it's going to, let's see what the refs say.
Yeah, it's going to be Borough ball.
Borough ball.
It looked like it was going to be off of Springboro here. Let's look at it. And that's a bang-bang play.
Yeah.
Right hands are right in between Trent. And Springboro will call a timeout anyways. Down by 1. 4 minutes to go, Jared, and it's shaping into a classic just as we thought.
Yeah, Springboro has whittled it down to 1. Hard-fought and determination. Down 15 at one point.
And you asked me what they had to do to get back into the game. I told you, and they responded, Jared. They have had their hands in those lanes consistently. They have been taking advantage of the mistakes by Fairmont. And Fairmont continues to make mistakes, Jared.
Right.
If Panthers really wisely capitalized upon all of them, they'd be up 5 here.
Right. 4 turnovers for the Firebirds in this quarter. As you take a look into the Panthers huddle.
And as odd as this sounds, Jared, the Panthers need to slow down fast breaks. Hear me right. They need to slow down fast breaks. They are making too many mistakes and missed layups. I think they take advantage of the confused rotations. They can end up getting that open 3 in the corner that they like. There you see an on-court view of everything happening, putting you inside the game of NCC.
Court side.
MVCC Game of the Week #2 here.
And the girls' version of this game did not disappoint last Wednesday, and this one's going to close out to be a nail-biter too. Yates drives and gives the Panthers the lead for the first time since it was 2-0.
Anthony Johnson cannot keep up, but that guy has stepped up in this half.
Fairmont has almost went the whole game with leading until 4 minutes left in the game.
They have to be smarter with their possessions here, and it looks like they are.
See, Fairmont looks like they're going to slow down a little bit. Johnson, and he traveled. That is Johnson's 3rd turnover of this quarter.
And I would like to see a replay of that, Jared. I'm not sure if he took a step before he put the ball down. I know he kind of stutter-stepped.
I think he got the stutter step without the dribble.
The quickness got to him a little bit, and here comes Yates once again. Fairmont has turned the ball over so many times.
Here, we'll take a look at it right here real quick.
Trent passing the ball around.
Yeah, right there. It looked like he took that 3rd step. Yates shots no good in live basketball. Right up court. Gives it off to Lewis. Over in the corner to Hall. 3 on the way. No good.
Air ball. He was feeling that one, though, Jared. Johnson keeping up with Yates. Hall going for the steal. Makes Yates reset, though. Good defense there by Caleb Hall.
That would have been an easy transition layup. And a foul is going to be called on Gavin Hilliard.
Very physical play there by Helyard. He was a key player in the first half.
Somewhat quiet here in the second half. I think that's the first time we've called his name.
Yeah, but Fairmont hasn't really been getting a lot of offensive possessions. There have been so many turnovers. I've never seen a team throw away a game like this.
Moser gives it off to Yates in the corner, guarded by Johnson.
Fairmont has been playing so well when they do not turn the ball over.
Hard screen by Palmer, down low to Palmer, and Palmer puts the Panthers up 50-47 as we approach 2.5 minutes left in the game.
And there's that guy right there, Willian Yates.
And you said it, if he's on and the team's winning. He came alive in the third quarter, and Springboro has taken the lead.
And Lewis
off the glass, no good. And Fairmont cannot settle for these contested shots. They have got to try and work their way into the paints or get a wide open three like they did in the first half.
So far it's been a 10-2 fourth quarter for the Panthers, and Jared, the Fairmont Firebirds are playing like a different team.
Yates, no look pass to Feldman. Off the glass, no good.
That's a foul on Helyard.
But they're going to call a foul on Helyard. I thought Helyard looked like he went straight up.
He did, but he made contact with the hand at the top. If we could slow it down here. We got Sam Feldman on the line. And he's been average this year from the stripe.
First one is no good for Feldman.
Sam Feldman shooting actually pretty good, 73%, but misses a huge clutch free throw right here with Trent Arena going absolutely nuts.
Second one is good. Puts the Panthers up 4.
4-point deficit here.
And if you're Fairmont, I don't know how you can draw it up any better. You have got to try and work into the basket. It worked so much for you earlier.
And Springboro has just gotten a lot tougher and more decisive on this defensive front. Not paying any attention to Lewis on the jumper.
Kicks it back to right, over to Johnson. Johnson's going to drive into the paint, and he's going to dribble himself back out. Hall has the ball now at the top of the key.
They're wasting precious seconds here, Jared.
Helyard has it now at the top of the key. Kicks it over to right. 1.5 minutes left in the game. And a foul away from the ball.
But when you take that much time to try to score, Jared, it better be a score. If they come up short on this possession, they are going to be clawing their eyes out.
This has got to be a scoring possession here. Inbound goes to Bukes, and he's going to drive baseline. Gets it in the air, and it's poked away by Feldman, and he's fouled by Helyard.
This is frustrating watching the basketball the Firebirds are playing here in the fourth quarter. Have you been counting turnovers, Jared?
6 for the Firebirds in this quarter.
That is grueling. That adds up to 11 in the second half.
Yeah, 11 in the second half. And 17 overall in the game.
It's just hard to watch. They are literally giving the Panthers the game. And here they switch to a press that didn't really work for them earlier in the game, and Springboro continues to pick it apart.
Moser almost threw that one away. Trent got a hand on it.
Trying to play game-managing basketball.
And they're going to call right for a reach-in, but I look like he got all ball.
Yeah, it looked like a poke out there, but then again, we're up here, Jared. So 1 minute left in this game. All Springboro has to do is hold on.
Right. 1-1 here for Yates. I don't know his free throw percentage.
69, Jared. Pretty average on the season.
And he misses the front end of the one.
That was a huge free throw right there for the Panthers.
Fairmont's got to get something going to the basket, try and get in.
This is their last breath of life, Jared.
Johnson's three is no good. Bukes can't come up with the offensive board.
And so unwarranted there. Unnecessary shot by Anthony Johnson.
Fairmont cannot be wasting time. They have 2 fouls to give, or it just be a 1-and-1. And Johnson fouls Yates, who just missed the front end of the 1-and-1.
Yates is a good free throw shooter. 69 is pretty good for high school basketball, but I think he's still going to be in his head right now about the last free throw. I think he's going to miss this one as well. We'll see. Springboro has been firing on almost all cylinders here in this fourth quarter, taking advantage of the mistakes Fairmont is presenting them with.
And this is a different way that I've never seen somebody line up backwards on a free throw, and the first one is up and good. A 5-point game, 47-52 lead the Panthers.
And another shot here for Yates.
Up and good.
And that one pretty much just sealed it, barring a miracle here.
Parker drives into the paint. Parker off the glass. It's good, and he was fouled.
Malachi Parker coming down and giving the Birds a little bit of life here.
If he can make it, it'll cut the deficit to half. And Fairmont, if they want to play that full court press, you've got to get pressure on the inbounder.
Malachi Parker showing major potential. We've talked about him a few times throughout this game, but he really has the potential to be Fairmont's star player here in 2 years.
Parker's free throw is up and good. Timeout called by Fairmont with a full timeout. 38.4 seconds left. The Firebirds, what do they have to draw up here?
Well, whatever they have to draw up here, they should have drawn up 4 minutes ago, Jared. I have never seen a team give away a game like this. This has been a grueling experience for me to just sit here and watch. How many shots have they taken this quarter? I think it's, 3 or 4?
Maybe.
And the rest have all been turnovers. They're literally giving this game to Springboro. It was Springboro's job to take it. They have. They have to a certain extent. They should be up by a lot more. And both of these teams, give both of them credit, Jared. They're incredibly scrappy. And the fact that this is even a game right now, when both of them had a chance to go out and blow the other one out, it speaks leagues. It's a testament to their character. But right now, we have possibly the most important possession of their seasons.
And you didn't see it, but Ryan Soder checked into the game in this timeout. He is a great pressure on bringing the ball up the court for the Firebirds.
Great on-ball defender.
In the Alter game I witnessed last weekend between Fairmont and Alter, he forced 3 turnovers on just bringing the ball up the court alone. So definitely something that the Panthers have got to watch out for. But if Fairmont's going to come out in that full court press, you've got to bring the press up more than just 3/4 of the court.
Down by 3, Kenny Mole's group comes out. They're discussing the press right now. They do not look like they're on the same page, though.
And you see, that is something. You've got to bring the pressure up to the inbounder. And look, Soder is going to be on the inbounder. Here he goes.
They got a zone press here.
And Yates almost threw it away. And he's fouled by Parker.
The zone break worked perfectly. Give credit, though, right there to Coach Euchre for the Panthers. That was a perfect press break. And I don't even want to know how many times they practiced that.
Still the 1-and-1. So if Yates misses this, there's a chance for the Firebirds.
And he's 2 for 3 on the night. The last 1-and-1 opportunity here for the Firebirds. They're praying.
It's up and it's good.
54-50. Yates possibly seals the game here for the Panthers. Again, Jared, barring a miracle.
I've seen stranger things happen in basketball. Yates' second one is up and no good, but an offensive board for Palmer.
Landon Palmer makes the play of the game, Jared. That literally wins the Panthers the game.
And I think Parker was going to make sure that they called that foul as he grabbed a handful of jersey.
Malachi Parker making a good foul, but Firebirds are just simply out of time, Jared.
Yeah, and now it's 2 shots from here on out.
And remember, they were winning 45-40 at the beginning of this quarter. Tremendous 15-5 run now by the Panthers in this quarter. And the Panthers, honestly, Jared, they deserve it. The Firebirds.
The resilience that they showed. And if Yates makes this free throw, that'll give him 15 in the game. He doesn't, and the Firebirds get the offensive board, and Palmer steals it back. Are they going to reward the Panthers that timeout?
Yeah, that's a timeout right there. That was very questionable call, Jared, but again, honestly, if you really want to argue this for the Firebirds, you can easily say they should have just not turned the ball over 6 times in this quarter. There he is, Kenny Moles again, trying to come up with something here. Nice little drum roll there. We all love basketball, but what's more important is that you have fun. There was a lot of fun to be had here tonight as the Panthers are up 55-50. Not over until the buzzer sounds, but
this one's a little bit harder of an inbound for the Panthers.
Yeah.
Under your own basket, you can't throw it into the backcourt if you have to try and heave it in. So if Fairmont, that you've got to put, I'm surprised that they don't have Bukes on the inbound pass here.
Yates going to use his quickness to try to get open, and they get Trent open.
And Trent's going to get fouled. Take a look at his free throw percenting.
And some great deception there by Springboro. They send both of their main scorers out, fake them to get the ball, and then they have Trent wide open in the middle of that lane. So again, just superior coaching.
Trent's first one is up and no good. Trent's second one is up and it's good. It's a 6-point game, and Euchre calls a timeout for the Panthers. And 4 out of the starting 5 for the Panthers have went into double figures now. And now, I mean, it's just desperation for the Firebirds at this point. 6-point game, 23.4 seconds left.
Yeah, I think this game is pretty much over, Jared. I think it's safe to say, too.
This one definitely lived up to the hype that the girls made this on Wednesday.
And it's so sad to see a team lose a game like Fairmont did tonight.
Yeah, and like you said, they literally gave it away. 6 turnovers at the beginning of the 4th quarter.
But how about the Panthers utilizing that ball pressure and that length? I knew what they had to do, and they did it.
Fairmont got tired, and you saw it. I mean, Fairmont played pedal to the floor the first 3 quarters, and it just finally caught up with them. Not really substituting players in and out. I mean, I don't even think we've seen Chris Thompson in the 4th quarter. But these are the building blocks that you experience in your first year as a head coach, in your first year in GWalk. Parker's going to give it over to Hall. He's going to drive in. Shot off the glass is good with 13.2 seconds left.
And Fairmont's still trying to hang in this one.
They call a timeout. They have 2 remaining.
You got to appreciate their tenacity and motivation to keep going.
But 13.2 and 4-point game. I mean, you got to steal the inbound pass, turn around, shoot a 3, get fouled, and make them all. And
here we go, 13 seconds. This has been a very long 1 minute, dude. This is why they give each team a maximum amount of timeouts.
This last minute lasted longer than the whole JV game did.
Yeah, this has been crazy.
But definitely a great way to start off the first week of the 2020 MVCC basketball season. And next week we're going to have 2 more great games. We'll have the Valley View Spartans at the Oakwood Lumberjacks on Tuesday, and then Wednesday we're going to be right back here as the Trotwood Madison Rams women are going to come here and play against Fairmont. That one, Trotwood's women is a dominant team in GWalk.
That's going to be a rough game for the Firebirds to win, Jared. They have some of the most talented players in the entire state. That Trotwood game is going to be a David and Goliath, no doubt about that. Especially after watching this game. Sam Feldman up to Yates, and they foul Yates, but Yates has hit 4 of his last 5 free throws, and I don't see anything changing right here. That's the guy who kind of finished out the game for them. And the first one is good.
And that one should almost put the nail in the final coffin, slam it shut, and get ready. I mean, 11.9 seconds left.
All credit to the Firebirds. They fought to stay in this one after the bad start to the fourth quarter, but it's a really bleak game, and I don't see the Firebirds coming back. They refuse to go away.
I thought you said there was a limited amount of timeouts. Springboro, I thought they called their last timeout the last time.
Yeah, I don't know why Springboro is calling that timeout here.
I know up 6 with 11.9 is not really a thing why you would want to call
Fairmont
it.
has to play perfect if they want to catch back up. And they also need a miss from Springboro. These kinds of things happen once every 30 years, Jared.
It's not really a miss. I mean, if they come down, make a 3, you got to roll the ball in and get all that. But I mean, you've got to get a steal. You can't afford to foul. You got to go for the steal.
That's what I'm saying. The likelihood of Fairmont coming back at this point is you're getting into the single digits now, and
right.
I guess it's good. Better be safe than sorry.
And if you look at this,
put a lot of effort into that defensive timeout.
And Anthony Johnson's going to line up well up into the corner, so Fairmont is lining up to maybe do a quick one-pass score. Parker gives it up. Hall up court. Hall's running full steam. Hall was fouled. And Springboro had a foul to give. Actually, they got 2 more fouls to give.
Interesting strategy there. I would have let Hall take the shot. He barely had time to set his
Hall's
feet.
3 is no good. Saved. It's not saved by the Firebirds. It's going to go the other way.
Yeah, and I think it's time to take a knee.
4 seconds left. And all Springboro's got to do is just inbound it. It's a spot throw in, the ref signals. Springboro gets it in, and Fairmont's still playing the foul game.
Yeah, Fairmont, they're stubborn, but I think this one's pretty much bleak. This one's over.
And, I mean, these ones are the hard free throws to hit, where it's just you and the opposing team on the line. Springboro's keeping all their people back.
Yeah, you got to say something about Fairmont's willingness to stay in this game, though. This game has been over for about a minute now, and they just refuse to accept it.
Right. I mean, this one's going to ultimately be it, but, I mean, Fairmont come in, played with heavy hearts. I mean, you heard before the game the passing of longtime Kettering sports supporter James Trent, who the arena's named after.
And you got to love the attitude that they played with tonight.
Right.
Even though they lost by 8, Jared, this was a stellar game, and the score does not paint the picture.
No, Springboro takes advantage in the fourth quarter of the Firebirds turnovers and win it 60-52 in our MVCC Game of the Week, our second one of the season.
Good to be back at Trent, Jared.
Like we said, we'll be back next Tuesday as it'll be the Valley View Spartans versus the Oakwood Lumberjacks at the Pit. Join us next week. For the rest of Miami Valley Communications crew, Jared Bergstrom, Jeff Allen, we'll see you next week, folks.
And that's all.